Deception Island.
It is our last full day in Antarctica. Yesterday we visited the Fish Islands and then passed through the Le Maire Channel. Overnight we sailed the Galash Strait, and this morning we are visiting Deception Island, then going on to Yankee Harbour in the afternoon. Deception Island is actually the caldera of a volcano.
Part of the wall has collapsed so we can go inside, but the gap is very narrow, and what is more, there's a rock in the middle of it.
The way in is known as Neptune's Bellows. You can see the volcanic nature of the sides. The expedition geologist explains the volcano's history.
Ladies and gentlemen, well, Deception Island is an active volcano. We don't know exactly when it started to form. The earliest indications of the oldest rocks are about 700,000 years old. But for our concern is that the volcano has erupted in 1800, 1812, 1842, 1871, 1912, 1956. Then again, there was a series of eruptions in 67, 69, and 70, and then again another series in 1991 and 92. These are all recent eruptions that have occurred, and of course there is a small volcanic cone that is presently forming on an area of the seafloor in the present flooded crater.
The captain maneuvers through the gap in the crater, avoiding the submerged rock. A wrecked ship reminds him of the consequences of getting it wrong. We're about halfway through now, and this is the view inside. That's the way we came in. This is where we'll be landing at the old whaling station. Bob the geologist explains.
As the ship turns slowly to the starboard side, ahead we can see the tanks, the remains of the Norwegian whaling station Hector. That was in operation from 1912 to 31. And then many of the buildings that we can see were from the British Antarctic base that was built in 1941, and it was abandoned after the eruption of 1969. The British Antarctic Survey base was destroyed by a lahar, and this is a geologic term for a molten mixture of volcanic gas and lava, all mixed with ice and meltwater. The lahar flowed down the slope behind the base and covered the buildings that had been occupied by the Norwegian whalers and the British whaling station.
The landing gets underway, and from the ship we see people wandering about on shore. Some have climbed up to the top of a hill. A yacht is also visiting Deception Island. Our boat group is on last today, so we have time to kill. We finally get ashore, and Karen points out the volcanic heat.
Just take off your gloves for a minute. And
oh my lord! It's really hot, beautiful.
The beach is littered with bits of solidified lava. Not far from the landing site is the remains of a cemetery with crosses for two men who died in the 20s, a younger whaler and a carpenter in his 50s. I walk inland across the ash and rock to climb up the hill. Much of this is new material deposited in the eruptions of the 90s. It is a lunar or Martian landscape. Let's have a look over the edge. Fairly steep. Not a bad view though. For an active volcano, it seems pretty peaceful. That break in the caldera is Neptune's window. Getting to the top now. I have a look around and head back down.
You can see the steam coming off the water. It is very hot there. It's not just warm, it's genuinely hot.
I explore the huts. This one seems to be in reasonably good shape, though we've been advised not to go inside. Some of the other huts are in a rather more sorry state. These tanks remind me of something out of Jules Verne, or perhaps a Tintin book. There is a bit of wildlife on the island, a penguin and a gull, and here is a seal idling away the morning. Is it time to get up? Let's have a bit of a stretch. Yes, that's nice. I'll scratch my back. I wonder what's for breakfast. Some sort of fish, I hope. Well, I guess there's nothing else for it. I'd better get up. It's a seal's life, but someone has to do it. And there's nothing like a decent scratch, is there, to get the day off to a good start. And now for me, it's back to the landing stage to get the boat home. Later that day,
This is Yankee Harbour.
it's a natural haven created by a spit of land half a mile long. It is late afternoon, early evening, and there is a hint of snow. The ship's lights are on. Once ashore, the main thing to see is penguins. This is a major colony. There are as many as 10,000 penguins here. They seem to stretch as far as the eye can see. The snow is coming down faster now. This penguin seems to be trying to catch the snowflakes. These are the classic gentoo penguins, which we have seen several times on this trip. Who's a pretty penguin then? Is it me? This is a parent penguin with its chick. A skua is standing nonchalantly in the background. Another skua wandering among the penguins gets told to clear off. Go on, scarper, you egg-stealing bar steward. The skua tries to retain its dignity as it strolls away, while some of the other penguins make sure it's got the message. The penguins try to encourage their young into the water. The parent runs along, and the chicks chase after it. Are these two going to follow their parent into the water? No, they don't seem too keen. This penguin is looking for something among the rocks. I wander well away from everybody else to the other side of the rocky spit. These two penguins look pretty well fed, or are they just fed up? I see a penguin coming in. There are two of them, getting out of the water now. Waves breaking on the shore. Lovely weather for penguins. And for seals. Here's one coming down for a dip. The penguins get well out of the way. They don't want to be squashed. The seal gets ready to enter the sea. Here goes. And we're afloat. Meanwhile, a penguin is coming back to land. Here's another pair chasing along. I can understand why the chicks need a bit of encouraging. Well, the visit is drawing to an end, so it's goodbye, penguins. We've enjoyed getting to know you on your home territory. Sadly, the ship won't wait, and we have to say toodaloo. Liz gets herself a seat on a polar circle boat. After this, we've got just one more landing to look forward to tomorrow morning. Bye. My turn next to make the trip. The Fram looks welcoming in the dusk. Back in the cabin.
Our last day, really, in Antarctica, which means the Drake Passage. And as we have the lake coming across, and the weather has now changed, I reckon we're in for it.